hard act to follow. Before I go on, I just have a few health and safety questions from the manager here this evening. First of all, I'd just like to ask everyone to refrain from climbing onto their chairs and tables during my standing ovation later on. Secondly, I've been notified that we've run out of toilet paper in the men's toilets, but thankfully, Nathan and Richie have donated a Geelong scarf to Nick. So please use liberally. First of all, what an honour to be your best man. With all the great mates throughout the room, brothers, I think several of the Gold Coast Suns within earshot, I take it as the ultimate compliment. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Nick Aroni, and Nick Jabanis and I lived together throughout medical school down the Gold Coast. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Both called Nick, both do the same thing, same interests. How are we going to tell them apart? You know? Well, one of us, tall, dark, handsome, blessed with athletic prowess. The other, he's got a beard and he's right there. So just for all the wedding crashes in there, that's it. But seriously, we did everything together back at when we lived together. Played sports, poker, loved the same TV shows, did everything. And yes, for our parents here, we did occasional study. But I like to think we learned most of our medicine from watching House and Scrubs reviews. I look back in those years, Nick, and realise they were some of the best of my life, and I thank you for that. And then, a few years into Nick and I's blossoming relationship, along came Phoebe. I must admit, I was a little bit nervous to begin with. I mean, if he was going to be over with her all the time, who was going to be there to cook chili con carne on Tuesdays? But after a few months, the dust had settled. Phoebe had become comfortable coming over to our place, and actually it was great because now I had someone to talk with while Nick was in the kitchen. Now, it's been touched on earlier this evening already, but I'm not sure if most of you are aware of Nick's hypochondriac nature. I'd just like to point out a few things. Basically, during medicine, whenever we'd study a certain part of the body, Nick would come and complain to me about the related symptoms. So we'd study the lungs, and he's like, Nick, I think I've got asthma. Study the cardiovascular system, he's like, I've got heart palpitations. Neurology, and he's coming to me, he's like, I've got vertigo and dizziness. And we study the male reproductive system. Anyway, the list goes on. I guess you'll learn about that one later. However, it was during the studying of the musculoskeletal system that Nick learned his uncanny ability to dislocate his shoulder. Whether it be on the sporting field, at the beach, or in bed turning the page of a book, this man was able to dislocate the shoulder at every moment. Now, it's a well-known fact that a healthier man is a married man, and with that in mind, I guess it's no surprise Nick was keen to get on with the job. So Phoebe, I guess it's lucky you agreed to take Nick's hand in marriage. I just hope you were very gentle when you did take that left hand. Nick and Phoebe, I think it's a credit to your parents, Leslie, Paul, Arthur and Kathy, and your grandparents before you, that you've raised such outstanding friends and people. So I think, first of all, I think it's important to thank Leslie, Paul, Kathy and Arthur and the grandparents for raising such outstanding people. So secondly, our bridesmaids, Anna, Olivia and Chloe, you look absolutely amazing this evening, so I'd like to thank them as well. However, rightly outshone by the beauty of our bride this evening, Phoebe, you look absolutely stunning. Nick, you Is it okay? And seriously, I think it's a very sad day for all the single men out there for such a beautiful lady to be taken off the market. And I think all the single ladies would agree with me that today has gone off with little more than a flicker. Getting back to it though. Someone once asked me, what is love? I told them that it probably wasn't an appropriate conversation to be having right when I was about to do his prostate exam. But I pushed on. I told him what a wise man once told me. The Greeks have 3 words for love. Philotomo, the love between friends, to have common interests and affection, the duty to one another, and loyalty. Nick and Phoebe, having seen your relationship develop in its infancy and through the toddler years, I think it's clear you have this in spades. The second word they have is eros, and that is for physical, passionate love, romance and desire, the driving factor in the initial stages of the relationship. It's the shorter lasting type of love, but important nonetheless. And finally, true unconditional love, selfless love, expecting nothing in return. The love a father has for his children, and the love a husband has for his wife when she's old. What the Greeks called agape. And Nick and Phoebe, I think you have this in each other. And with that, I've no idea what that guy just said, but it's all Greek to me. And with that, I'd like to raise a toast to Nick and Phoebe. Maybe your days be filled with philotomo, your nights with eros, and your hearts with agape.